Hey guys, welcome to Momentum Call, our Wednesday night call. This call kind of flips around every now and then. Sometimes we're going to do our accountability shout outs ourselves. Sometimes we're going to talk about solutions. Sometimes we're going to do training. But today we're going to talk about momentum and just feeling stuck. So that's something that is very common in any type of business, any type of entrepreneurship, is you're going to feel stuck. Everybody does. Everybody does. So we're going to talk about that. And I do have notes. So if you see me looking at my screen, that is why I made it into a PDF, but my dang printer wouldn't work. So we're just going to read it from my computer screen. But like I said, tonight is going to be a clarity talk. Most people who feel stuck, they're not actually stuck. They're disconnected. People who are feel stuck, they're not lazy. They're just missing. It's almost like a puzzle piece. They're missing a puzzle piece. It's not because they're not. Sometimes that gets misrepresented, that people who are stuck or people who aren't seeing their numbers grow are lazy and they're not doing the work. But I've been working with a lot of people. I've worked with over 500,000 women, and that's not always the case. It's just one little thing that's missing, that everything just can't fit together. It's like having that puzzle and you're missing that one piece and you can't put it together. And that's what we're going to do today. Hopefully, we can get a few puzzle pieces put on the board. We might not get the whole board put together tonight, but that's why we show up to these calls. Each call is another puzzle piece. Each call is another puzzle piece. And eventually you're going to have that full picture, right? So before we get into, well, you know what, let's get into my notes. And then you guys know I'm not good at notes. I'm horrible at notes, and I'll just go with what's on my head. I'm going to try to stick with the notes though. So, one, you're not stuck, you're unstructured. So, most people who say they're stuck, they really don't have any structure. They have no simple plan that they follow every day. They don't get onto the calls. They're waking up, they're winging it, and they're going to get winging it results, right? They don't have a plan. Their brain needs a plan, not pressure. So we have that, you guys. We have those systems put into place for you. And you're going to be hearing us talk about systems a lot. You hear leaders, sometimes you'll see on social media people with a recruiting post like, we have such great systems and this and this. A system is really just a daily action plan that you follow every single day. Doesn't matter what the system is. It's just a daily action plan that you follow each day. And we have that. We have formulas. We have all of these things. So most people who are feeling stuck, and not everybody, because I work with a lot of awesome women who are plugged in and they're building there. It's happening. It's in the works. It's in the works and it's going. But a lot of people, I'm going to be real with you. A lot of people who come to me and they're like, I'm stuck. I don't even know who they are because they don't participate in the chat. Like if I didn't personally sign them, I have no idea. They don't participate in the chat. I never see them in any of the groups. They're never on any of the calls. They're not plugged in. That's why they feel stuck, because they're doing it alone. And when you do it alone, you're going to get burnt out really, really quickly, really quickly. So a lot of times this community actually unsticks us, puts a little grease under us, okay? And that's why we are so hot, like talking about the movement, the movement, the movement. It's not because it's not a name change. It's not a different identity. Everything's the exact same, but it's building more of a community, a bigger community where we're all connected together. Because when you have community, that is where success happens. That is where success is made. See, I'm really bad at notes. None of that stuff was written down. Um, but also I want to talk about your feelings are valid, but they're irrelevant to your goals. I'm just gonna say it. Like, this isn't gonna be a fluff and warm talk. I just want to tell you the real deal. Your feelings are definitely valid. When we're tired, when we are feeling down, when we're frustrated, when we're, playing the comparison game, those feelings are valid. You are a human, but they're irrelevant to your goals. It doesn't matter. You can feel tired and you can do 10 minutes of action. I mean, we can work from our bed. You can feel discouraged, but you can send out 2 invitations to the Opportunity Hub. You can feel unmotivated, but you still need to create a story. Your feelings do not it doesn't just make it so, oh, I'm not going to do it, because then guess what? You're going to get those results. So that's what separates people who, you know what, let's go into, forget these notes. Forget these notes. Let's go into the 3 levels of leadership really quick, because it ties in with this. There are 3 levels in network marketing. The first level is called invisible. This is where most people are. That's where they're making $0. They're not making anything. And that's why the statistics in network marketing, all those network marketing haters say that doesn't work, because most people stay at the invisible stage. The invisible stage means they're in and out. Like, they are not fully committed. They don't, like the people who I'm talking about, don't show up to the calls. They don't even ever start. They're worried about what their friends are going to say, so they don't post. They're worried about being spammy, so they don't message anybody. They don't do anything. They don't do anything. They don't even actually start the business. The kit collects dust. They really didn't try. That is invisible. And that's where you're making nothing, right? But then to go from invisible, so here's the three levels. Everybody starts out as invisible. We just can't stay there. We all start there. All of us have that mindset of, oh, I don't want to post, it's scary, you're not getting a lot of sales, you see, zeros in your back office. We're all there. That's where we start. But the thing is, most people don't ever go to that next level. Okay, the next level is average. You're showing up on the calls, you're talking to people, you're doing your business, you're not at the levels that you want to be at, but you know that that's just a level. That's just part of the way up, right? Everybody who's the top leader, they were at average too. And to get from average to legend, that's what we're going to do. And that's about inviting. That's about sharing. That's about prospecting. That's about talking to people. And that's when, so you go from invisible to average to show up on leaderboards. That's how we're going to get there. Show up on the leaderboards. Like, Cindy, you're the main picture on my screen right now. Cindy, you I don't think you were ever invisible, even in Unique, because you always made yourself known. We talked a lot. But you started showing, like, your name started popping up. People are like, who is Cindy? Like, who is Cindy on these boards? Because you started making the boards. You worked hard to get on top of these leaderboards. You went from, new. Cindy can never be invisible, especially on her birthday. Okay, it's Cindy's birthday today, you guys. But you went from a beginner to average, and now you're above average now, but you're going from average to legend, and that's the path that you're on. And that is just conversations, and that's what you're doing, you guys. So those are the three levels. I wanted just to explain that before we went on to what my notes actually say. So identity drives behavior. So if you keep telling yourself that you're inconsistent, you're going to have inconsistency. So also, to go from that invisible to that average, a lot of it is self-talk. And I know that's where a lot of women struggle. A lot of women struggle here. You don't think you're pretty enough. You don't think you're good enough. You don't think anybody would want to buy from you. You don't think you're smart enough. Like, us women, we put so much on ourselves. You know what? I'm going to tell you, don't take this the wrong way. Don't take this the wrong way. I've heard this many times in this whole network marketing journey that I've been on. But the smartest person is probably the most broke in this profession. You don't got to be smart to be a network marketer. What you got to do is you got to be hungry. Okay, you got to be hungry. If you are a brain wizard, okay, and you're super smart, and all of your posts are perfect, and you're always like correcting people's grammar, and you're always like so smart, guess what? People are going to be like, man, she's way smarter than me. I could never do this. So sometimes this is a little embarrassing to say, but it worked for me. When I first started really getting successful, I played stupid. I played dumber than I was. I misspelt things on purpose. I knew how to spell it. I did wrong grammar on purpose. I knew how. It's just, it made me more relatable, right? And I'm a real person. And you don't want to appear too smart. If they're like, wow, Amber can't even spell Wednesday. If she can make it to the top, I know I can. So get out of your own head, okay? Get out of your own head, just telling yourself these lies, because those lies are going to become reality. What you tell yourself becomes a reality. You also need to identify what drives your behavior. So if we already talked about that. See, I don't do notes, you guys. Stop expecting momentum without repetition. That's a big one, especially with our team, with this new movement. You can't expect momentum unless you are having repetition. So repetition builds skill builds confidence builds momentum, and people want confidence. But people want the confidence without the steps, without doing those little daily things. Like when you go live, each time you go live, you're going to get more confidence. it might really suck in the beginning. You might feel so embarrassed. You might feel so awkward, so out of place. You are not somebody who has a camera in your face normally. Guess what? Every single time you press live, you're going to get better and better. Every single time you make a new connection, you're going to get better and better. Repetition builds that. Repetition on these calls. Why do you think that we do? I mean, I'm hosting like 2 calls a day. Okay? Why do you think? Repetition, when people hear it, and when you hear the same thing over and over again too. So that's why I'm so happy we are going to be hearing from so many different leaders and international leaders and just leaders within this team, 15% leaders. Like, I'm just so happy about that, because they are all going to be saying pretty much the same thing, but just in their own way. Because everything in network marketing, you know it already. I'm telling you guys, you already know it, but you just need to be consistent with it. You know, that word repetition, consistency, it's gonna build that confidence. And I know it's hard to press that live button. It's hard to send that message. It's hard to volunteer and say, hey, you know what? I want to speak on a call someday. That's hard, but you got to do it. You know, entrepreneurship is not for the thin skinned. And you're in it. You're in it. So let's thicken up that skin a little bit. Okay. Why you feel stuck. Let's talk about this really quick. So you're not using systems probably. So we built systems so you don't have to do the guesswork. See, I see this. I'm gonna call it out. I'm gonna call it out. I see it in our chat all the time. Like, hey, where can I find shout outs? Or hey, what's the link for the call? We have systems in place. They're all there. All there. They're all there. So they must not be using the systems, right? No shade, no shade, no judgment, but we can start tonight. We can start to use the systems tonight. So we built them so you can use them. When someone is overwhelmed, confused, inconsistent, it's usually because they're not following a simple blueprint. And if you don't use the systems, you're not going to get the results of people using systems. And remember that word system, people like really glorify that word. It's really just your daily action plan. Like I said at the beginning of the call, that is a system. So, what is your daily action steps? Mine, 333. I do reach out to my 10 people, my 10 3. We have all these little formulas. We do those things. We get on the morning call. We send out our follow-ups. We do, all of the things that we do. This isn't a power hour, but like every single day, it builds, it builds, it builds, it builds. And that's the system. But here's the biggest part though. Here's the biggest part. And this is not for anyone on this call, but it's something for you to know, for you to, lead on your team as well. But most people who are stuck, like I said in the beginning, they're not plugged into our community. People try to succeed in silence, then they wonder why it feels heavy. I wrote this one, ChatGPT helped me with this one, because I'm like, what can I write about community? These are not my words. Everything else is, but this one says people succeed in silence, then wonder why it feels heavy. Momentum is a group sport. Support and energy are contagious, and if you show up alone, you're going to be doing business alone. If you show up together, you grow. So I thought ChatGPT did good for me, because I'm like, what do I say on that? Again, a system. ChatGPT is a system to use to help you with things. Don't have it do your work for you, because I want you to grow, but have it help you, right? So it helped me at that one, and it's true. I see a lot of leaders who I've worked with over the years who they come to me and they're like, I'm stuck. I'm stuck. My numbers aren't growing. My girls aren't going. And I have to tell them, be like, well, it's because they don't see your face. When your team doesn't see your face, why are they going to show their face? When they don't show their face, their business is going to burn out. That's why it's so important to be showing up. It's not when I tell the leaders on this team, they're like, hey, can you please go do, some stuff in Team Sparkle? It's not because I want them just to go into Team Sparkle because it makes one less thing for me. That's not why. It's because I know that they are going to grow. I know I need my leaders to grow. I need all of my frontline. Like, my goal is to have all of my frontline to be golden and above. That is my personal goal. And I know I'm not going to get there. So it is a little bit selfish, because I know I'm not going to get there unless they get there. And I know for them to get there, it's showing their face, because their team's going to see that. They're going to be so proud of their leader. They're going to be posting about it everywhere. Oh my gosh, my leader, I'm looking at you. I'm trying to say Sandy and it's coming out Cindy. Okay, but we're going to use your name, Cindy. It's your birthday. My leader, Cindy, is showing up. Like, I'm so proud of her. She's going to be a speaker on this call, which, Cindy, you are going to get asked. So be ready. Be ready on our 15% above leadership call. You're going to be asked. But it creates momentum, community. If you're not showing your face, your team's not going to. We all know your team does what you do. Same with if you're not posting and you're wondering why your GV isn't going up. Well, why do you think? They're like, well, Amber doesn't have to post. Why? I'm going to do what she does. She's the successful one. She's the leader. You know that your business will crumble. Okay. You're not immersing yourself in the culture. That's another reason people are stay stuck. So our team, we have a huge culture, you guys. This is the best culture I've ever seen in network marketing. Our team culture is built for belief and growth. You'll only feel that way if you're inside of it. You cannot win big when you're on the outside watching, right? Plug in, ask questions, attend calls. You guys on this call, you already be doing it. Okay, now we're going to talk a little bit about December season reality. So I did a lot of coaching calls today. I was probably on like 20 calls today. And one thing I'm hearing a lot is my numbers are a little bit down this month. They're a little bit down this month. So everyone's distracted, but this is where we can win because a lot of people are distracted. And think about our competitors, think about other people who your followers and your customers follow. They're distracted too. They're distracted because they're seeing the same thing. Their numbers are down too. Everybody, it's just retail. We're in that weird limbo time between now and New Year's. But here's how we're going to set it up. We come with solutions, okay? And we don't just wish for it. We don't wish for it. We're going to have a plan, like we talked about at the beginning of the call. So your competition is asleep. Our competitors, they're asleep too because they're feeling exactly how everyone feels. My numbers are down. Well, they're checked out, but our buyers, they're still watching. They're still watching. They still need to buy toothpaste. They still need to buy shampoo. They still need to buy these things. We have people who don't even celebrate Christmas. There's a lot of people who their religion doesn't celebrate Christmas. They're on there too. So if you slow down, that's you putting on the brakes. That's not the month. It's not because Christmas, it's because you're putting on the brakes. You need to stay visible when others disappear, and that's how we're going to enter January ahead of everybody else. Okay? And that's the goal, ahead of everybody else because we are on it now, like today. Which let's talk about that too. Another thing I was recommending on these calls I was doing today is really jump in, and I know not everybody's nutrition girlies, but we can't just not look at the fact that 43% of all of our sales come from nutrition. We also are entrepreneurs. It's not always selling what you're passionate about. And I know this business network marketing, that's kind of how we start. We're like, oh, we love it. We love it. We're passionate about it. But then once you switch that gear in your mind and that mindset of, I'm a business owner. I'm a business owner. You think like, I have a friend who owns a sock store in Las Vegas. His name's Carrie. Do you think he is obsessed with socks? No, but the tourists love them. So that's his business because that's how he makes money, right? We sell what people are buying. That's when we switch it into entrepreneurship, we sell and we offer what people want. That is how you become very successful as a business owner, okay? So people have spoken, numbers don't lie. People want nutrition. Not saying get away from hair, not saying get away from makeup, but now's such a great time. This is the time where people are not buying presents anymore. Some people still are. I still am. But a lot of people, they're done Christmas shopping. But what are they thinking of next? They're thinking of New Year's. They're thinking, I don't want to be uncomfortable next Christmas. I don't want to see myself in pictures like I'm going to see myself this year. I remember that was me, like, oh, I hated every single picture because I just didn't, I didn't have the confidence because, my weight. People are thinking that already. So we are going to have a different Christmas next year than you do this year. You're going to be in that hot little Santa suit, okay? But that's what's on people's minds. And it's we sell on problems. I know that kind of sounds a little weird, but that's all sales. Somebody sells a car. Why do they sell a car? Because you got to get to work, right? It's a problem that car fixes. You dye your hair. Why do you dye your hair? Because you're getting grays and you're not confident with it or whatever it might be. Well, guess what? Then you go to the hairdresser. Like everything that sales, we're solving problems. And that is nutrition companies. This is our time. This is our time. So with pharmacy, we get the best of everything. Like we have the makeup, well, then we have just every season. So this season I am talking very heavily about nutrition because That's what people are buying right now, and they're going to get ahead of it before the first. Talk in your stories, talk about the pain points. I know it's a weird thing, and I kind of feel, I'm gonna be transparent with you guys. It kind of feels a little icky to me. Like I don't want to like really prey on people's insecurities, but no, when that's a mindset thing. When you have that mindset, that's not what we're doing. What we're doing is we're solving people's problems. We are making people more confident. We are helping people. So some of you, the calls I had today, they're like, well, I don't want. I feel like I don't want to prey on people. You're not. You are solving solutions. And if they want help, guess what? You have a solution. And that's what people are buying right now. So start talking about it a lot in your stories. You can even, give examples and say, I used to hate seeing myself in pictures, but I feel, I lost 15 pounds. I'm feeling great. Or I have more energy. It doesn't even have to be about weight loss. It doesn't even have to be about weight loss. So I would hone in on that at this time right now. Okay. Start that health challenge. There's an OG leader in this company. I love her so much. She's amazing. But I helped her with her health challenge because I was doing it, right? And she's like, how are you doing it? She had her biggest sales month, personal sales month, since the makeup launch in 2020. And she's a makeup seller. She's not a nutrition seller because she did the health challenge. And that's where I was just sending those texts. It was so easy, right? But talking about it, I'm doing this health challenge. I'm doing this health challenge. And if you guys want help with that, you can message me privately. We can talk about exactly what I do in that. Okay. So engagement slows, attention does not. That's going to be the big one. You might not see a lot of views, but people are watching. A lot of my customers, actually my subscription customers, most of them don't comment on anything on social media. They call themselves silent watchers. But you know what's not silent? Their subscription goes through every single month. That's not silent. So don't worry about those numbers. Low likes do not mean low eyeballs. People shop secretly, join secretly, DM secretly. Consistency matters more than engagement this month. So I really want you to remember that because you might post a few pieces of content and maybe they don't get very many likes and you're like, well, screw it. I'm not posting anymore this month. No, eyeballs do not mean, or likes do not equal eyeballs. Okay. You have to stay consistent. That's what's going to separate people who make it and people who don't. You have to stay consistent with it. This is not the month to push sales. It's the month to build pipeline. So right now I am pushing. Well, we always have great sales. And with the health challenge, besides the health challenge though, I'm more focused on building that pipeline for 2026. 2026, I'm trying to build those connections up. So December is kind of a season to set up. We're setting up our 2026. We're setting up our business for the new year. We are starting fresh. We are not bringing any of our old excuses. We're not bringing our old habits. Like this is a level up, new year, new me. That's what we keep saying. January is payoff season. So this is setup season. January is payoff season of the conversations. Conversations today become leads in January. Stories today become trust in January. Invites today becomes momentum in January. And January is going to be big for recruiting. I'm telling you, every single January, it's always big for recruiting because it is a new start, right? So I want you to really keep that in your head when you're thinking about the content you put out. A few sales basics I just wanted to go over. So you guys probably already know this. I'm going to go really fast, but visibility. I need you to show your face, show your routine, show your product in real life. If they don't see you, they're not going to buy from you. Plain and simple. And maybe I do need to say this because I've done a few audits on social medias. And some of the girls, I'm like, I don't even know what you look like. I feel like I'm buying from just a pop-up. Like I'm probably not going to buy from you. I'm going to be honest. I probably wouldn't buy from you if I didn't have a little bit of a connection. If I didn't see you in your stories and see, oh, she's a mom like me, or oh, her husband's also in the military like mine. Like just those little connections. Oh, she loves pink just like me. Like those little connections, that's why people buy from me. Okay? So if you're not showing yourself, and this can be faceless too. Faceless people still show themselves. They still show themselves. They just do it very creative, like be really creative when they do it. They'll have their hands in there. So that this can also be for faceless because I know we have some faceless accounts on our team that do very well. But guess what? They're consistent a lot and they're posting a lot and people are still connecting with them. They use their voice where their face might, I want to say where their face lacks, but no, that girl is absolutely gorgeous. But where they aren't posting their face, they use their heart, they use their voice, their soul, like, and they get their message out. So visibility, number one. I don't want to just see just pictures of pharmacy products, okay? Even faceless accounts, they don't post like that. Conversations, 5 to 10 conversations a day. Be honest with yourself. You don't gotta be honest with me. Be honest with yourself. Are you actually doing that? Because a lot of people who are stuck, they tell me they are, and I don't think they are. Because I remember being that person who would tell my mentor I am, and I wasn't. But I didn't want to tell her that. I didn't want to tell her that. That's embarrassing. So I'm like, yeah, I am. But I wasn't, and I knew I wasn't. So be honest with yourself. Like, I'm here to help you. Jen's here to help you. Katie's here to help you. Tiffany's here to help you. Cindy's here to help you. Ruth, like, we're here to help. But this is your business, and it's up to you. So lying or saying, hey, I am doing it, that does nothing for us. That's just hurting yourself. So I want you to be honest with yourself. Okay. We want to see you win. It's not about us, it's about you. So are you actually doing the 333? Are you actually sending messages out to people like you say you are? Because if you are, great job. If you're not, just take this as a sign, okay? A sign of what you needed to hear, because you got to do it. Like, you can't complain about the results you're not getting from the actions that you're not doing. So that's just a little real talk there. Love you guys still. So no, but when you're doing these conversations, no sales pitches, just human conversation. Simple openers work best. Hey, I saw you at the park with your son. I don't know, this is just off the top of my head, but like, I loved his jacket. Did you get that Target? Like, just simple conversations, you guys, building these connections. You don't have to make it weird. Invitations. One of my mentors told me that this is the highest paying skill in network marketing, is inviting people to take a look at the product, inviting people for the opportunity. Are you actually inviting people? Because it's scary. And I don't think everyone's doing that either. I love you guys, but I don't think everyone is doing that, because it is scary. And I was in every single position in network marketing. I was in everybody's shoes, from the person who was doing nothing at all to the person who's working a lot. Like, I've been there. So I know. I would say I'm talking to people too, and I would really talk to 2 people and nobody would get back, and then I would just stop. Let's be truthful here. But that's what kept me stuck. That's what kept me stuck. It was once I got to the 1,000 no's, that was the turning point for me in Unique. Okay, that's when I hit black status. Is I got 1,000 no's, but because before that, I would get uncomfortable. I would write to people, they wouldn't write back, or they would say no, and then I'd feel stupid and I'd stop doing it. And once I got to a point in my life where I said, what's more important, feeling stupid or being homeless with 3 kids? Like, what? Okay, I'm gonna swallow my pride a little bit, and I got to it, and I got 1,000 no's, and I hit black status. You guys, that was proof right there. Black status was the highest position. Um, okay, so short, when you're inviting, you're just inviting to take a look. Short and clear. Follow up. So most people do not say no; they get distracted. So professionals follow up. Hobbyists wait. So I want you to make the decision tonight. Are you a professional or are you a hobbyist? Are you going to wait for them to come to you, or are you going to follow up like a professional? I need you to take this business into your own hands. Okay? I need you to know that you deserve this. Your family deserves this. Think, what could $10,000 a month, every single month, and growing do for your family? Like, this is up to you. This is up to you. And I know it can happen for every single person on this call, but we have to take control of it now. We can't go into 2026 with whatever is not working in 2025. Like, we got to get over that. Um, that's what I really have for you guys tonight. I just want to, we're going into a new energy. That's what the movement is about. It's energy. So, since we had a pretty small call, we still have a few minutes. Does anyone have any questions at all? You can raise your hand. Hey, Cindy, happy birthday. The mute button is your
I got
bestie.
it. I got it. Um, Thanks for all the birthday wishes, everybody, for starters. Been a great few days. Um, my question basically is, I have any problems selling makeup where I have the issue as is the nutrition, and I take all of them. So I need some focus and help to be able to push that out. like you do,
Mhm.
not necessarily, like a fitness challenge because I ain't going to friggin' work out. I'm just not going to
No,
do
yeah,
it.
I don't work my fitness challenge. It's not real. I don't work out either. I
Okay.
pretty much ask them. I tell them, we're aiming for 8,000 steps today, and then as the weeks go on, 10,000 steps. That's where my cutoff is. And then I do say, if you can get a little bit of movement, maybe you can and I do a lot of people who are on my health challenge. They have mobility issues. So I do a
Hmm.
lot of chair exercise. Like, I don't actually do it. I just give them a few suggestions. And I say, get your water in, and message me after you take your supplements. But I'm not doing like workouts with them. Like, I do tell them
Okay.
a few chair ones just to help them, but that's optional.
Yeah, because I don't even friggin' walk. I mean, now I'll get up and
You
dance.
don't you have your vibrating pad?
Oh, I got that. I got my vibration pad, and I'll get up and dance now. But that's
Hey,
it.
dancing. That
I
that's
mean,
that's a good workout.
but yeah, if you could just maybe text me some steps to
Yeah, I
follow,
will.
to put like in an email type thing to send out some people, that would be greatly appreciated.
I'll send you a prompt for ChatGPT. Remember, we're
Yeah,
teaching you how to
I
fish.
use him. I use him. I use him all the time. And when you talk about your grammar and misspelling words, I do that not on purpose. It just happens. So,
Good, good. I think it's made me more successful, to be honest.
well,
And
I
that's why
hope
I
I
write back
can.
to people who would send me mean messages about it. I'll say, well, actually, I did that on purpose because it makes me more money. And I just try to be a little cocky because they made me mad.
Yeah, whatever. Thank you.
Oh, yes. Happy birthday, my love. Bridget, did I see your hand up? She's like, no.
Well, actually, I was gonna be like, "Hey, do you mind sending me that Chat GBT too?" Because you know what? I was off the NutriPlus line for over 65 days. So I did go into my stories and I was kind of like, I have this thing because I love our tea. So I kind of start the story but like I'm dropping the tea, right? Like I'm
I love that.
dropping the gossip. Like so it's like a hook. It's like, wait, what is she gonna talk about? And I'm pouring my tea, but then I kind of my next slide is like I'm telling you something that's like going on. It could be not related to any makeup, but just something
Hmm.
life related. And then I went into the next one saying I'm doing a health challenge, and I'm like, what the fuck did I just do? I don't know anything about health challenges. I'm
I'm
just
gonna
like,
have my chat GPT write a prompt of what it does for me for the health challenge. So then you can put that into yours and it will know.
okay,
Let the
thank
let the AIs talk together and figure it out. Anyone else have any questions or anything they want to say tonight? All right. Well, I am excited, you guys. We are creating something here. And I'm really proud of every single person on this call, for real, like super proud. And proud of you, Crystal. I just want to shout you out too for Royalty Circle again. Royalty Circle again. Great job. I'm very proud of you. All right, you guys. I hope you have a great night. Bye, everybody.